Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. That other getting old. We got Sam Ryan time. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spending with Sam Ryan time. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
The Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.
Oh. Welcome in, everybody, to 440 and Goal live from, well, I'm in my beautiful garage somewhere in a disclosed location in Saybrook, Ohio. I'm Ryan, and as always, to the right of me is Sammy, and below us here is Big Time Tom. What's our nickname for Tom?
.com Tom, baby.
.com Tom. One day I'll get that right, but half the time I can't remember Sammy's own kids' names, let alone Tom's nickname. So there is a little bit of truth behind that, but we probably should not dive too far into that just because of mine and Sammy's friendship. But anyways, moving on to the
oh my God! Already,
I can't help myself. It's been a long day. Yeah. Hey. Again, welcome everyone, and this is actually week 1 for 440 and Goal. We're wrapping it up, putting it in the books. Definitely covered a couple games this week. Friday night, we were, Jefferson versus Grand Valley. Thursday night, we got to check out the Spartans against the Warriors. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. Obviously, everyone's seen the post that Sammy put out. So that young man, the Quiet Riot from out in Conneaut, will be joining us here shortly. So don't forget to share and like the stream. But without further ado, how did everyone's weekend go? I know Tom, he could take the whole show, but he probably should.
Oh boy!
Listen, Tom about to be divorced before the cat got married.
Oh no!
Sorry if you're watching, Megan. I'm sorry.
Hey, she's coming for all three of us now. It ain't just me. It ain't just me. Yeah, I had my bachelor party over the weekend. That was wild. It was a good time. It was a. Oh, thank you, Jessica. But speaking of my wedding, I wanted to shout out real quick before we started business. Bakery on Main. I got a phone call from my bakery today that's handling the wedding cookies. That hey, we just don't feel like doing it. So
solid.
Bakery on Main came in today when I went to go get a coffee. You lovely young ladies there were like, hey, I was like, hey, you guys do cookies? She was like, yeah. I asked her, you mind doing it? She got me a price. She got their great price, great cookies, and she really saved the day. So I wanted to shout out Bakery on Main. It's there on Main Avenue in Ashtabula. Ray will make my cookies. I'm good, but you know what, Ray? I know they'd be made with love.
Cookies.
They'd be made with love. I know that. And yeah, so shout out Bakery on Main, and also shout out Nate and Kelly Winchell for getting married this weekend. Part of our 4-4 Goal family.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach Winchell over at Edgewood tying the knot. And yeah, thanks, Chuck Guglielmo. I definitely made some homegrown peppers this weekend, fresh out of my my city garden. I can actually attest to Tom's story about Bakery on Main. I got a muffin from there, and it was the size of a cake. Like,
they're huge.
It's one of those muffins like that, and it was actually very, very good. So for sure, And just another thing, it's a business on Main Avenue. I'm a huge proponent. Let's push those businesses on Main Avenue. Let's bring Ashtabula back to its glory days, but particularly Main Avenue. But my weekend,
and real quick, sorry, Bakery on Main, not yet an official sponsor. So if anyone knows someone, send it out there. Just put it out there. We'd love to put an ad together for you.
We got the best advertisement rates in town. That much I can tell you.
Yep. With the most hyper local viewing that you'll ever see on Facebook and YouTube. I hope that's right.
Our advertisement is hyper local, what that means for you guys, potential advertisers, is while we only are going to have between 100 and 200 sets of eyes on each broadcast, it's going to be between 100 and 200 sets of eyes strictly in Ashtabula who are going to go to your businesses. So that's what we mean by hyper local. That's where it's at. But my weekend was pretty well kind of taken up. We Friday night we cover the Jefferson and Grand Valley game. What did we do Saturday? I feel like
nothing. No, there was nothing. I had football. More football.
Yes. Yeah. I think this week.
And you went to Winchell's thing.
Yeah, I went to Winchell's. I went to Coach Winchell's wedding on Saturday. And then Sunday, honestly, everything this week is just getting ready for school.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if a lot of you've seen, a lot of schools are going to masks for like the first couple weeks.
Right.
Don't be surprised if that becomes a thing, and I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't become a thing by basketball.
Yep.
Oh yeah, like full time for the whole year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know that Kent and Ohio State; those are the only two I've seen right now. That have gone for sure to mask full time for the students. I do want to send a quick shout out to and this is going to be strictly off the top of my head. So if I forget somebody, please put it in the comments so I can get them. I want to send a shout out to Mason Inman. You forgot somebody. There we go. Awesome. Already, Ryan. Do we got Ryan or Owen? Which one? I want to send out to our player of the year, Charlie Taylor, Ben Scabona playing over at Lake Erie College. Tellis Andrews playing at Baldwin Wallace. Danny Bruckman going over to Mount Union. Keep me coming, boys.
Zack Winchell was a player of the year or player of the week last week. Is that where you're going with this?
Nope. To all the college guys. Just send them a good luck for this week as they get ready to start, as they're beginning their college careers. I can't remember who else. I know I feel like I'm forgetting one. Forgetting one. But to all the players last year that we featured on here that had some run on this show, getting ready to play on Saturdays, congratulations. Continue tracing your dreams. We are rooting for you from afar. There is nothing better than getting to see some kids that we got to see locally get to play college football. And it doesn't matter what school you're at, we're supporting you. So when you feel like you have no fans in the world, know that you got three right here.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you about my weekend, and I've been kind of eager to talk about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, I got a 7-year-old, which y'all know. Most of you guys have seen him on this show. And I have to do it. I can't help it. I don't like to. Well, I love to talk about my son, but I also don't like to make it seem like he's some crazy superstar. But in my eyes, he is the biggest superstar I've ever met in my life. But Saturday, third play of the game, beautiful pass by Mason, his quarterback, number 7, right to number 11, who's Owen. Caught it for about 10 yards down the field and scampered about 35-yard touchdown. And I ran, according to Demetrius Baker, he thought I was running about a 4.40 at that point in time to chase Owen down to the end zone. And so it was a very, very exciting weekend for me. A lot of football. Football hasn't stopped for the past week and a half, and over the next 9 weeks now, it is going to continue to be every night what seems to be. But it is a blast. It's a blessing more than anything. I love it, and it was a great weekend for my family and the friends that were able to join us down there. I couldn't believe the amount of people. So, and my son does play on Lakeside's youth football freshman squad. So, if you guys do see me on Tuesday nights with a Lakeside shirt, I am not being biased totally. I am very biased to my son's youth program, but not being biased to any other school. It's just I'm not changing to get onto this show. It's just not
No, you know what, Ryan? It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Ryan, I've got to correct you. It's Zach Rice. That is our player of the week, not Zach Winchell.
Oh, did I say?
You
I thought
did.
I said right.
You did. I'm just gonna.
Hey, at least I said the quiet riot. I got that portion right. I'm sorry, Zach. He is waiting in the wings, so he probably heard everything and just shook his head. Sorry.
No, but there is something very, very cool to get to see your kid, succeed, whether it's scoring a touchdown or just listening when they should listen. That's a really cool feeling. So it's awesome. What was the final score of that game, Ryan?
Our youth program, we won 27 to nothing, 26 or 27 to nothing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Very
good. It was fun. We played a PV team, not a PV team, but we played PV youth. They came in, and thanks to them, because honestly, without them, we wouldn't have had a game. They filled in a spot for a situation. And but thanks, big shout out there to the PV Youth Football Program for filling in and coming to play us on Saturday. It was super last minute. I think they had 3 days, and they said yes. So big shout out to PV.
Very good. And that's where the guys, the guy that we're bringing on the show, there's a coach right from Ashtabula who, when we told him about him being player of the week, he said, yeah, I know that kid. He killed me in the BCMFL championship game years ago. So Zach Rice has been certified since he was able to put a helmet on. So that's where these kids are, developing their skills, and it's a very important thing. So if you do have a young man or a young, a young lady that wants to get them involved at an early age, because the more time that they're going to get out of sport, the better. But I don't think that we got a lot of people watching here, and I don't think it's to see our ugly mugs.
No.
The next thing we're gonna go is we're gonna hit a quick commercial break. We're gonna hit a quick commercial break. We're gonna bring in our player of the week, which is gonna be Zach Rice. Following Zach Rice, we're gonna do we'll talk about the game results. Following the game results, I think people are waiting on this, is the high school fantasy football results this week, followed by the waiver show. So we'll be doing some waiver claims at the end of the show. You guys are just going to want to kind of tune in and get tight or whatever, tucked in there. Yeah. So,
oh my God,
Ryan, are you hitting commercial or am I hitting commercial?
No, you're doing it, because I'm going to screw it up.
All right, so we're gonna head over to commercial real quick to with our only sponsor as of right now. We do have 3 sponsors that did take advantage of. If you put our live stream on your TV at a bar or restaurant, we will give you 1 free week of advertisement here, and we've got 3 of them that are going to get some advertisement on this upcoming week when Lakeside takes on Madison.
I think it's 2.
But without further ado, let's go to our first break. There we are. That is State Road Medical, located right in their name on State Road. They're doing great work over there. And I want to send a second part of the shout out over there to Alvin Rodriguez, who is the newest addition to the State Road Medical family over there. He is a personal trainer, certified personal trainer. If you are trying to get stronger, if you are trying to get a better, just feel healthier, get better, your body better altogether, Alvin's the guy. Alvin is a hidden gem out here in this town. Go out there and check him out at State Road Medical. He also, when he's not getting people right in the gym, he's getting people right on the football field. He is a football coach for the St. John Heralds. But without further ado, I want to introduce our 2021 Week 1 Player of the Week. This man right here, Zack Rice, with 230 yards on 22 rushes, 4 touchdowns. And that is following an early injury to his starting quarterback. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Zack Rice.
Welcome in, Zach, a.k.a. the Quiet Riot.
That's my running back.
That's
my running back.
This guy this guy right here, single-handedly kept this guy, wherever Tom's at,
below me.
Yeah, below Ryan. Kept him in the game this week with 59 huge points, 22 carries for 230 yards. You got 4 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 1 in the air. Zach, what was going on? Because you were ready to play right from the beginning.
Well, at the start, it started really slow, and then as the game developed, our running game started out to be good.
Yeah, and that running game, once you guys started, you did not stop. One of the things we laughed about is we talked about how, we expected Rocco to go strictly run game. He talked about, we're going to get back to Rocco Dobrin football, which is run game. You guys start the game in an empty backfield and decide you're going to throw a pass right down the field to start the game. But eventually you guys come back to and get back down to that Zack Rice football. Zach, those 230 yards, which is, you've done that a couple times. You did that a couple times last year as well. Those are hard to come by. What makes it easier? What makes it harder?
It makes it easier with how good our offensive line is. So that's the reason why it happened.
Thank you, Zach.
Very nice. Very good answer there.
Listen, if everyone's watched this for the last over a year, I am a very huge proponent of the O-line. Running backs don't run, quarterbacks don't pass without them. That's just what it is. They don't have to like it, but they got to accept it. Sorry, Sammy.
No, you're good. Now, Zach, you don't just play offense, you're starting defensive backs, and you came as close to getting interceptions as anybody actually could. Get your hands on 2 of those things, and actually lay a pretty nasty hit out there as well to separate somebody from a ball. So making yourself known on defense as well. I know we asked you that this year, but this changes every year. When it comes to defense versus offense, which one are you preferring?
Offense.
Offense.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't think we've had I don't think an offensive player has ever said they prefer defense, if I recall. But I'm probably wrong. Obviously, I've been wrong before in my life. I've proved that right off the rip of this show. But so I also got to ask, what's it like being back there with Dacon? So you and him both kind of go back and forth. Look at that big smile. He almost be buddies. That's his name.
I love that kid too.
Listen. I love watching Dacon. Obviously, I love watching you. And honestly, you get most of the handoffs. But is he? What kind of continuity do you guys got back there?
It works really well because when I go for a long run, he's always there, and what he's gonna do. And
Yep. He's we call him the Brahma Bull, man. He running cats over.
He is an actual Madden hit stick. Yeah. Like I watched him hit that poor defensive back from Edgewood. I'm not gonna say his name. He knows who he is, but he got hit harder than most defenders hit offensive guys. Like that was ridiculous. Heard some helmets cracking up there. But is it Dacon or Dakin?
Dakin.
It's Dakin.
Dakin. Sorry about that.
But I'm guilty of it too. So it's Dakin Chabot. Dakin Chabot, what do you know? But he wasn't the only one getting touches back there. You guys do a good job of really spreading that ball out. And you've got a young guy behind you by the name of Wyatt Payne, I believe.
Yeah.
And he comes up, he's what, a freshman or a sophomore?
He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore, so he's right behind you. Do you find yourself kind of trying to guide him in the right direction? I mean, you're a junior, so you're still learning too, but you're a junior with veteran carries under your belt. So do you find yourself trying to give him kind of some hints and stuff like this and just imparting your knowledge on him?
Yeah, I know he has the talent to be good, so I just try to show him how to get better and just let him get reps in whenever he can.
Nice. So Zach, I was watching the game, and you seemed to get stronger as the game was going on. And first game of the year, I had to ask myself, what did you do this offseason to get ready for the season? Did you add anything in your training regimen? Did you switch some stuff up? Because I'm not trying to cap here, but it was reminiscent of a Nick Chubb in Cleveland. Just get stronger as the game goes on, man. What did you do this offseason to get bigger, faster, and stronger?
Well, me and my brother go to the gym every day, and we do speed workouts every day. So that was a big help.
Sure. Yeah, I could see the speed, man. You were flying to be able to 22 carries, 230 yards, right, Sam? Or I could ask Zack. But I promise you, Zack knows how many yards he's been running for. But I do want to speak about the defensive side of the ball, because you were very good at that too. We all know Edgewood is a very veteran quarterback back there, and Conneaut as a whole did a really good job at shutting Zack down. The defensive line over there for Conneaut did a great job at putting pressure on Zack. But you were all over the ball. I couldn't tell you how many times I heard Sammy say your name. I don't know where I was going with that. It was somewhere good, but I just lost it. But Sammy saying your name. But what was your favorite part, I guess, on the defensive side there? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
It was when we do zone plays. It's my favorite part because I like to watch the quarterback, and I just follow wherever it goes.
Okay. Yeah, because you were flying around. The whole defense was flying around too. It was a blast to watch you guys. It was a lot of entertainment. But yeah, go from there.
So did you guys, when you guys were getting ready, obviously this is game one, so there's not too much to compare to, but you've been part of this Conneaut Spartans team for, as long as you've been a high schooler. What was different about this preparation? Because you guys come out, and Edgewood is a team that maybe I would think you're not going to see too many high schools like this, where they're going to spread you out real thin. We're going to throw the ball. Edgewood's got between 3 and 4 guys. All of them can catch the ball. All of them can run. It's going to be different than these teams that are going to go pass heavy versus run heavy. Do you feel like you practice different for that week, and the fact that it's Edgewood?
Well, yeah, we practice to keep Winchell in the pocket and not let him get out, because that's where they make their plays at, is when he gets out of the pocket and finds an open spot.
Okay.
So you guys, it's just kind of a just a game plan type of deal. But is there a little extra oomph? Is there a little bit of extra anything because you guys are going against Edgewood? Because especially this year, you guys have 10 games and 9 of them have PA next to them.
Yeah, the energy was really high in that game. That's what brought most of us to do that.
So out of the 9 remaining games, I think this is a fair question because we don't know really any of the teams, but who are you looking forward most to heading up with next?
Slippery Rock, because they're a really challenging team, and I'd really like to be able to show what we can do against them.
All right. Well, I'll be watching. I'll be watching from somewhere, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Heck
if
yeah.
not, Dobrin will be yelling from the rafters about what's going on.
So, we got to do it every year. Zack, who do you have to thank for those 230 yards you've got? Just one more time.
My linemen, my coaches, my family, and all my teammates for pushing me to be able to do what I did.
That is my running back.
That's a running back. Zack, we want to thank you for coming on the show. It's always a blast. I'm really actually excited that we're probably going to have you on the show again next year.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe at the end of this year, we'll see what's going to happen. But good luck on the rest of your season. Congratulations. Keep on keeping on. You guys go against Buckeye this week?
Yes.
Buckeye, Pennsylvania, going to be a home game for the Spartans. Going to want to go out and check Zack Rice. My last name's Torres, so I'm a fan of Rice to begin with. So,
yeah, quite right, man. Thank you for joining the show tonight. Again, it was a pleasure to watch you on Thursday night to kick it off that way. Lots of fun. Keep doing you, man. 22 yards, 230 carries, plenty of batted balls on defense, and you were probably flying all over the field. So, thank you again for coming on, and congratulations again. We look forward to getting you your T-shirt, and we got a little special something that maybe you could put on your helmet coming up here soon.
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Zach.
You, Zach.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Zach Rice, and Zach was a talker this year. A lot more talkative this year. I love it. I love it.
I was taking it back.
He's coming into his own. You know what it is? It's because he's so used to being the man that he knows what to be said. No, I can't say enough about him. He is a great kid on and off the field. I've never heard anybody say anything ill of that young man ever. Gets it done in the classroom, gets it done outside of the classroom. You're not just going to hear his name during football season. He's a stud on the basketball court. He's a stud on the baseball diamond. He's a leader. He's a junior, and he's the type of kid that coaches are like, I want my players to emulate him. Yeah. And the young guys like Wyatt Payne and that sort of thing on the young guys on that Conneaut team. Can look to him for a veteran leadership because he's doing everything right and he's got success. He's doing stuff, doing the stuff in the off season that's leading to, trust me, even with Conneaut's offensive line, I couldn't run for 230 yards. There's a large amount of talent to do with that. Not to take away from them because that Conneaut offensive line was shut out. They were absolutely phenomenal on Friday night. And it wasn't just the offensive line. They didn't really get credit, but the linebacking core and the defensive backs made it absolute hell on that offense for Edgewood. That Nick Osborne spent more time in the backfield than any Edgewood running back that game. He was everywhere in the backfield between him, Hackstrom, and Chabot. That's a tall order. Mm-hmm. Keeping those three guys off you. They're big kids, they're strong kids, they're athletic kids. Conneaut really did a great job. I'm very interested to see what's going to go on again with this Buckeye game. So Conneaut going to be home.
Speaking of that, we've been corrected twice. Buckeye Medina or Medina Buckeye is actually an Ohio team. So they have 8 PA games. So thank you to Chuck. And it says Bowie Joen.
And shout out to Chuck Guglielmo, who is the host of Around the Town with Chuck. We had a chance to be on that show. He's awesome. He is awesome. And if you want to talk to somebody about Conneaut, not just sports, but Conneaut, that's the guy. You're going to want to watch that show. It's really very, very entertaining. Somebody that, myself personally and the guys here, we try to aspire to that because he's been doing it for so long. Mm-hmm. He's the pro. So, we bow to you. Thank you so much, Chuck, and look forward to working with you again very, very soon.
It's going to be really interesting this coming week to see Conneaut play Buckeye Medina because Buckeye Medina just played a very tough Cloverleaf team and shut them out 10-0. But they're a more pass defense oriented team. So I'm going to be really excited to see what Rice can do against that defense this coming week. Especially when they're pretty much just running, pass coverage. I think Zach's going to tear it up this week too. I'm very excited to see what they do.
I got to say something about Coach Rocco Dobrin. He is a friend of mine, and I do like him. And there is something about his teams that you cannot count them out. Whether they seem overmatched on paper or not, Conneaut has this way of staying in the game, of finding a way to compete no matter what it is. I remember last year I want to say it was Warren JFK. They went down to Warren JFK. And
yes,
everybody's looking. They're like, "Oh, Conneaut's going to get blown out. They're going to lose by 60. They're going to get da 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 da." They do lose that game. It's 7-6.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a very close game.
Yeah, you know what I mean. They keep it close. Those guys, they got a team out there that they're ready to rock. They're ready to fight. They're ready to go. Whatever they got to do to get that game won is what they're going to do. And for that, I very, very much respect that.
Well, Sam, to that point, Dobrin is a true. Dobrin's someone who can truly adapt as the game goes on. I mean, we saw this past week, Kiefer Mandigello unfortunately goes down early in the game. And, we talked about preparation, and it's no secret. I mean, last year, Jake Slayton was a gunslinger. He finished second in the county in passing yards. So Mandigello showed that strong arm last year. He was definitely developing as a quarterback, and you go into the game and, hey, Kiefer's going to probably throw it a little bit. We're going to give it to Zack too, probably a balanced attack. And then it comes down to, okay, we lose Kiefer. What are we going to do? Okay, we're seeing the wrinkles in this defense. Let's run Zack wild. So while some coaches, not in this area, but any high school coach could be like, all right, our quarterback's done. I don't know what we're going to do necessarily. Let's throw the backup out there and hope for the best. Dobrin has plan A, B, C, D, and E, and he can execute any one of them very well. It's to your point, Coach Dobrin is fantastic at adapting and making the best out of any situation that he's put in.
Yeah, and that's why Conneaut's never really out of it,
Never.
And ever since we've started this, and even before then, I've always said I am as scared of a 9-0 team, 9-0 Conneaut team, as I am of an 0-9 team, because either way they're really coming with it, and the moment you undersell them, they're gonna smack you in the mouth.
Yeah.
That's what happened when we were in high school. When
Absolutely.
You guys played.
Yeah.
We lost to Conneaut from a hook and ladder, and I still hate that play to this day. But you know what? We're talking hook and ladder. We're talking some big plays getting played out there. This week, we had the distinct pleasure of covering 2 separate games. We do have some highlights from that. This week's going to be a little bit shorter. It's just going to be the 2 games. We are next week going to try and search and get some more highlights from games even that we're not covered in here. But here are some highlights from both the Jefferson Grand Valley game, which we're going to talk about next, and the Conneaut and Edgewood game.
Man, that cameraman does one bang up job. I'm just throwing that out there.
Listen, 2 games.
Yeah.
Infinite scores. There was so many highlights in those 2 games this week. You guys got to see Zack Rice, go out there and just get to be an absolute force for the Conneaut Spartans. With all of his scoring plays, you got to see Dacon Chabot score there. We don't have the Dacon crack that crack hit, the head cracker. We don't have that on there, but that, trust me, if you want to see a hit, go back to, I want to say it's about the second quarter, and watch him lay the wood down in one of the hardest hits you're going to see there. But a lot of the scoring there goes to the second game that we covered, which was Grand Valley versus Jefferson at Grand Valley. The Jefferson Falcons. Oh, yes. You know what? I am so sorry. That is absolutely correct. We do need to bring that up. It wasn't just Zack Rice in that, before we head over to that game, it wasn't just Zack Rice, scoring all that game. Zach Winchell actually breaks the county record for career passing yards during that game. He was only 44 yards off. And one of the reasons why there's not a whole bunch of fanfare and stuff like that on the screen as we're covering that game is because, to be honest with you and to put it bluntly, we had no idea if he got the record or not. He hits a 51-yard pass to Jacob.
We started the game only with 43 yards remaining, correct? Or was it 39?
Yeah, it was 43. It was 43 to tie.
Right.
44 to break it. So
right.
he hits a 21-yard pass to start, and then they go from 21, and the very next play he goes 51 yards to Jacob Ernst. It's a long pass. He scores. He's got the record. We're getting ready to go, everything like that, and boom, what do you see on the field? But yellow flags. So the yellow flags go down. We have no idea what yards are counting, what's not counting. Nobody in the booth had any idea what yards counted, what didn't happen. But
yeah, I think I even tried to run over and talk to Winchell himself, his dad.
Yeah, we had no.
And he looked at me and said, "Did he break it?" And I said, "That's why I'm here to talk to you."
Yeah, we have no idea what's going on. But at the end of the story, Zack Winchell does break it. I'm sure that he's more focused on, preparing for a tough game versus Grand Valley this week than any record. But we want to tell you, congratulations, Zack Winchell, on breaking the Ashtabula County record for career passing yards. The career passing yard records was held by Sean Freeman of PV. And Zack was is 44 yards off. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but we will do a little bit more as the week progresses on that, trying to figure that out.
Congratulations, Zack.
Congratulations, Zack. That's fantastic.
All right.
Yeah.
Going on. The next game we covered was the Jefferson Falcons versus the Grand Valley Mustangs. Our first time out at Grand Valley Mustang Stadium, and it was a fun day. It was a beautiful night, I can tell you that much. Absolutely.
Started off a little breezy, but it turned out to be a beautiful evening out there, and that's a beautiful venue. And again, like I corrected on the show, that is 3 Ashtabula County fields that still remain as natural grass, and they do a great job out there at Grand Valley and maintaining that facility.
Yeah, it was. It really was a great game. The game gets away from the Grand Valley Mustangs a little bit there at the end. They kept it pretty competitive there in the first half. But the story, I think, of that game really is Grant Hitchcock. Grant Hitchcock goes out there and shows as a quarterback he is not only a running threat, which I knew he was a running threat, but he's throwing the ball as well. They got a couple kids out there that can catch the ball and do a lot with it, including number 9, Cage Bozar. I call him NASCAR because he's so doggone fast when he gets the ball.
They were slippery putting him in too.
Yeah,
they were slippery. Whoever, I'm assuming it was Hannah, but they snuck him in. Very, very sneaky.
Yeah, I had no idea he was playing because I was under the assumption he was hurt. Otherwise, he might have found his way on my team because I know how fast that cat is. When he catches the ball, it's curtains. There ain't too many guys around here who are going to be able to catch up to him. And if he gets a step on you, that's it. And then the other guy, is Sticky Tack, Mr. I'm going to catch everything. That's Trent Hodge out there in Jefferson. He's there I want to say he was 5 grabs for about 60 yards. Let me double check that. 5 grabs for 60 yards for him. Cage Bozar was 2 grabs for 61 yards. But Grant Hitchcock, you can't overlook it. 11 for 17, 165 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, including and 1 interception. He's going to go ahead and supplement that with 5 rushing attempts for 114 yards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
5 rushing attempts for 114 yards. He's also going to get 2 touchdowns out of that. 4 touchdowns total for Grant Hitchcock. And the Jefferson Falcons were working. They had stuff working on Friday night. The passing game was going. I think penalties actually ate up both teams to begin with. Both teams finding some troubles with offsides and holding, and there are so many holding penalties in these games, that we're covering. It's insane. The refs really, really calling that very, very tightly. But Grand Valley takes the brunt of it when it comes to excuse me, not the holding, but the penalties. Grand Valley had some things going on their offense with Nate Boyarski that really were working. Nate Boyarski was able to rush quite a bit, get some things going. He actually had a couple passes that get called back due to holding. He has a touchdown that I still have no idea how that touchdown got called back.
Right.
They called off a touchdown when the kid gets over-undered inside of a group of Falcons that jump on him like true Falcons, and there's a piece of meat in the middle of them. The kid comes up with the football. They call a touchdown originally and then say it's not a touchdown. It was incredibly it was very odd.
Confusing.
It was very odd.
Confusing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was trying to find the penalty the whole time. I was like, what in the name of God is going on here?
I'm not
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not kidding you. I've watched it 3 times. I don't see a penalty. I don't see what called it off.
Well, I don't think it wasn't a penalty. It was the ref in the end zone called it a touchdown, and the head ref came up and marked it incomplete for some reason. It wasn't a penalty.
Oh yeah, it was just
because that's when it marked it down at the 2 or 3 yard line, and unfortunately, Boyarski had a little bit of an error there that led him into the halftime. So yeah, it was. They were marching though, like you were saying, Sammy. I mean, Grand Valley had a full head of steam. I think they were down 14-0, right? I do believe it was.
It was 13-6.
13-6. Yeah. Going in, and they had a full head of steam, and like you said, very, very competitive that first half. Very competitive. Unfortunately, the laundry that came onto the field did affect the game a little bit, but I guess to the right of the ref for calling it out. But yeah, it was fun to watch Boyarski. He's got a cannon on him too. Watch out, because he can launch that ball down the field. And I'm sorry, I don't know the young man's name that caught the ball. I think it was about the third play from scrimmage that caught the ball down the right-hand side of the field, and because that was a long pass. But he did a great job at receiving it. But watch out for Grand Valley, because you're
Andy Rogers.
Okay.
Grand Valley you're talking about?
Yeah. Watch out for Grand Valley, because they're going to get better week after week. A lot of times these kids go into this first game. Some of these kids are, first game seniors or first game starters. First time they ever played on a Friday night. I'll never forget mine, but I won't go into that story. But these kids are going to get better as they progress. And as they progress and they get better, they're going to become more competitive. So watch out. Grand Valley's got a lot of talent over there. I know the score was, I think, 41-6, but they did shoot themselves in the foot, as Sammy would call it, quite a few different times that stopped them from being more competitive. And when you get down, it's tough to continue to compete sometimes, but you just got to keep pushing through it. But kudos to Grand Valley for fighting through it.
And they're big. Big. Well,
yeah, they are.
What Grand Valley lacks, and there's no, this is no secret. Grand Valley is not going to win any 4x1 races. Okay, they're not. They're just, speed is not where they're going to make their money. But where they are going to make their money is they've got some kids that are flat out bigger and stronger than you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they prove that on their scoring play when they go down there, and if they can get close to the end zone and they can put the hogs out there and shorten the field, and now it's going to be strength versus strength. Grand Valley is as capable as anybody.
Yeah, that was a goal line set, if I recall. I mean, they had probably linemen lining up as tight ends at that point in time, but that's all they did. They pushed the Falcons defense back, and they just walked it right into the end zone. And not only big as in physical and size wise, but that is a big squad out there, to be totally honest with you. I didn't expect that. I would say Grand Valley's probably got 40 to 50 kids on their team, which I did not expect that from a smaller school. But look out for Grand Valley. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
absolutely. And like you said, I mean, they're going to get incrementally better every week. I mean, Coach Nims is a fantastic coach, and you can tell he definitely believes in those kids, and those kids have bought into him. And, it's a whole thing, man. I mean, you buy into each other, and you're going to just keep getting better. It's that support system and the right kind of coaching. The sky's the limit for them, really.
Yeah, and you know what? Their defense did a pretty good job to begin with. What they struggled with in that game was what I personally believe every single team that lines up against Jefferson is going to struggle with, and that is the running ability of Grant Hitchcock.
Yeah.
And then the other factor who we completely overlooked, I sounded like Sylvester from Looney Tunes because it was suffering succotash. Luke's on a fun dash. This dude was running all over the place. Luke Funtash, the sophomore running back from Jefferson, 165 yards for the first-time starter. Comes out there, gets busy, gets the corner. We'll see ya.
Yeah.
Reminiscent of Sonic, Danny Bruckman last year. If you've got Grant Hitchcock working that way, you've got Luke Funtash working that way. You've got Trent Hodge, who's going to be able to pull in the catches to keep people honest. And you've got Wade Woodworth when you need to shrink the field and you need some strength, the battering ram. Wade Woodworth, the battering ram. When you've got that going, look for Jefferson to be a very tough opponent for a lot of teams this year. They've got a lot going. And defensively, not too, they were stout as well. You know what I mean? Getting to Boyarski a couple times. They do have an interception by Grant Hitchcock. Yep. You know what I mean? So their defense has improved as well. What does Jefferson lack that most teams have? Jefferson is a little bit undersized. Mm-hmm. They're undersized in most positions, but for whatever they lack in size, I can promise you they make up for in strength, because these are some of the strongest kids you're going to see. Cage Bozar is all of about 125 pounds, and that kid's going to out-strength most people. You know what I mean? He was out there on the bench during the combine, putting up the weight that some linemen weren't putting up. Mm-hmm. So Jefferson a little bit undersized, but they definitely have the strength. They definitely have the speed. You want to watch out for Jefferson. They're really going to get into people's mouth this year.
Yeah, don't get it twisted either. I said it before on the show, probably about a month ago. Brandon Hanna, new head coach, and if there's a team that's bought into a system and is ready to rock and roll and run through the proverbial brick wall, it is the Falcons for that head coach. Everything I see about it, they've really bought into what Brandon's got going on, and kudos to him, man. Keep up the good work out there.
Yeah, it was a great game. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I was just agreeing. I mean, yeah. Brandon's brought a new mentality to Jefferson. And like I said earlier, I mean, when the kids buy into you and you buy into the kids, I mean, it creates a whole new monster. I mean, that level of trust between quarterback and coach. I mean, Brandon wasn't like the fastest quarterback, but Brandon was very mobile. Brandon had a very good arm. And Grant Hitchcock is a very, very fast quarterback that is learning how to utilize his arm from Brandon. And Grant's only a junior now, right?
Yeah, which is another terrifying thing to everybody around here.
So under Hannah's tutelage, we could really see Hitchcock not only evolve, as a passer, but also physically, getting bigger, getting stronger. And he if that happens, he's going to present a very big problem with that versatility for anyone that they go against, because you're not ready for whatever Hitchcock's going to do. He can run a boot and run out there, or he can run on the boot and just dump it off. He's got the great receivers. He's got the stable of running backs out there. I mean, Sammy, what was it? 3 or 4 running backs utilized in Jefferson's backfield over the course of the game?
Yeah, you got so it was Funtash, Woodworth, and then there was a third one at the end, I believe. I'll tell you who's got the stable of running backs. Is Conneaut has 4 guys touch the ball in that game.
They had 4 guys touch the ball. They had Shields, Rice, Chabot, and what was the other one? Who's the other guy?
Oh, for Conneaut, Wyatt Payne.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
And not to be overlooked, Ben Fake. Thank you. Ben Fike, 6 for 6 field goals. 6 for 6 field goals. That doesn't seem like it matters to a lot of people. We've seen a ton of kicks get blocked. Field goals matter. Those 1 points change the game.
Yeah.
Those 1 points change the game. So Fake? What the hell is it? Fike. Like FICO. Like my credit score, the FICO. Ben Fike goes out there 6 for 6 for the Jefferson Falcons. Jefferson going to head over to the Harvey Red Raiders this week, and I don't pick games if it's county games, but I do if it's not county games. So I'm picking the Jefferson Falcons to go smack the Red Raiders in the mouth this week. Brandon Hanna and them boys bring back another W.
Oh, co-signing. Kudos to Brandon Hanna. He only had 1 sideline warning. Well, I guess you can't get more than one. You can't get more than one, but no 15-yard penalty. We have a over/under of 140-yard penalty yards on hand this year.
Mike like Mike. Fike like Mike. Ben, I got that for the rest of the year, my friend. Ben Fike like Mike.
Fike's like Mike, man, just balling. He's balling out there.
Yep.
And let's cover some more results from around the county this week. We'll talk a little bit about that Lakeside and Brush game now. So Lakeside 20, Brush 41. We were not at the Lakeside Brush game, but we were abreast to the situation. We had a lot of people keeping us up to date on what was going on. And
shout out to Mr. Crockett. Kevin, I think he was one of the main ones for that one.
Yeah, Kevin was keeping us going, as well as kind of a play-by-play coming from Kevin Crockett as well.
Yeah.
41-20 is the ending score there. And, whatever. I have, I guess, the reputation of saying this, but it's true. So the game, that score is not indicative of what the game was. That game is an 8-point game going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It gets away from them late, but Garrett Siebenik is good for 97 yards. He goes 97, 8 for 18, 97, 2 passing touchdowns for him, with 1 interception thrown. My boy Jay-Sean Sanders rushes for 47 yards. No touchdowns there. Here's the quiet guy. Here's the sleeper at Lakeside High School, Elijah Jefferson. 98 yards for Elijah Jefferson on 15 attempts. That's good for 16.5 points for the fantasy, you guys. 16.5 points for Elijah Jefferson. And then AJ Rafa, 5 attempts on 17 yards. That's a rushing attack. The passing attack is ready to go for those guys. Malachi Matlock, 3 receptions, 76 yards with 2 touchdowns. One of which is a touchdown by passing. And also the other one, 85-yard kick return.
Yep.
for the guy who won the 40-yard dash at our combine.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to see much of the game, just the stats, like Sammy said. But as Kevin was filling us in, it was a barn burner out there at Brush. It was until the fourth quarter. But those guys just got to keep their heads up and just keep pushing through it. Lakeside takes on Madison coming up on Friday. Madison just lost to Geneva. I think we can all go without saying. I think Madison's about to be 0-2.
Yeah. 0-2, baby.
Yeah.
0-2. We got a little bumper here. This is the pregame we're gonna run for Madison coming up this week. Here's a little hype video.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
There we go. So that's coming up this Friday. It's gonna be Lakeside at Madison at Lakeside. That's a great game to pack into the stadium. This is the 20-year anniversary of Lakeside High School as a school. In 2001 was the first time that the Lakeside Dragons ever took the field. We reached out and tried to get something going to make something a little special for that game. Unfortunately, the schedule's just not working right now. Not something we're giving up on. It's just not going to happen for the first game. But it would be great to get out there and show these kids some support, show that school some support. That jersey that's hanging up right back there, that's the jerseys that were worn 20 years ago.
Little heritage.
You know what I mean? So it's a big one. It's a big one. And I really do. I very much believe that the Lakeside Dragons are going to smoke Madison. And I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, Madison's always been known to be a little bit of a tough team. But last year, honestly, they I think they were 0-8 and they gave up on the season. I don't know if it was COVID related, whatever it may be. But that quarterback that you put up there, I did see. I don't know his name. I don't really know his stats, but I did watch a few of his plays, and he's a very shifty and maneuverable quarterback. He knows how to get the ball downfield. So Lakeside's deep backs, so the likes of Colazzo, and there's a few others that I can't think of their names right now either. Good for Ryan. Anyways, but be on your toes, be ready to rock and roll, because I do believe they're going to pass the ball. Madison does run a wing T style formation. Is that correct, Sammy?
It's not. It's kind of a shotgun type of deal.
Is it shotgun? I know.
They
years ago they used to, but so more of a spread formation.
Yeah, it's much closer to kind of the normal, I guess I would call it right now.
Right. I do believe it would be like 10 personnel and 11 personnel, something like that.
Yeah. So they pass a lot. That's ultimately the big and small of it is they pass a ton. And they tried to pass a ton on the Geneva Eagles. I'm trying to pull up those stats. I did have.
Yeah. Yeah, but Madison, over the years, I guess they've gone into passing. So D-backs from Lakeside, be on your toes. I'm sure Buzz is going to have you prepped and ready for the upcoming matchup. But keep fighting, man, over there at Lakeside. You guys had a good game up until the fourth quarter. Not sure exactly what happened, and I did try to watch the game, but that did not go that well.
We ended up having zero. We ended up having zero statistics from Madison, which whatever. But Geneva goes out there and Geneva plays Geneva football.
Yeah,
that's what they did. Geneva went out there. Let's go ahead and talk about that score while we're here. I'll bring that back up on the screen.
37-20? Was that what it was?
37-20, I believe. I'm trying to get it. There we go. All right. Yeah. So Geneva's 1-0, 37-20 over Madison. The Blue Streaks go back to Lake County with another loss. Geneva goes out there. They play Geneva football. Mm-hmm. Wyatt Fuderick, 4 passing attempts. 2 of them were completed for 47 yards. On the other end of that, he ran the ball 19 times for 102 yards.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, Brady Pete, 14 attempts, 103 yards, and 3 tutties. 3 tutties, folks.
3 tutties.
Been waiting all night. Listen,
3 tutties
folks out
for
there,
big bad Brady Pete.
has this weird thing. When he comes up with a word, he just does not stop saying it.
I can't help it.
You just can't stop saying it. I haven't heard the other word, which I'm not going to say it in hopes that you don't remember it, but... yeah, but the I'll say it for Sammy, the decals that
the decals, those are coming out though. He had 4 touchdowns. Hold the line.
Oh yeah, hold the line. That will help me out tremendously.
Receiving. I am sorry, he did have 4 touchdowns. So he had 4 touchdowns because 3 of them were on the ground. 1 was in the air. Brady Pete caught 1 pass for 10 yards, and that 10 yards was good for a touchdown.
And he had an 89-yard kickoff return.
89-yard kickoff. Listen, didn't I tell you guys Brady Pete was legit? Didn't I call that from the very beginning of the year? I said, get ready, because here Pete comes. The Adventures of Pete and Pete is what they should call Geneva, because there's always a Pete coming through there. By the time this one graduates, I think they have one. I think they have one in 8th grade that's coming up too.
Yeah, they got Bryce. They got Bryce in 8th grade right now.
I'm telling you, Geneva is the Adventures of Pete and Pete, but not to be overshadowed. Wyatt Fuderick goes out there, and he has himself a night against Matt. And listen, Madison and Geneva is a rivalry game, so it's the same things apply there. It doesn't matter if Geneva is good or bad. It doesn't matter if Madison is good or bad. Those guys are going to play each other with everything they've got because they don't want to lose to the dudes that they have to share a Walmart with. So that's what it comes down to. But I had big faith in Brady Pete, and Brady Pete set you up really nice this week, Ryan, with 43 points.
Yes.
43 fantasy points.
Does that include 4 touchdowns? Does it need adjusted?
Nope, he got the 4 touchdowns. That's in there.
Darn it.
But honestly, and that's the other thing, we talk about the tackles. So nobody really sticks out on the deep. Oh, wait a minute. There's somebody we're overlooking. Ryan drafted a kicker, and he drafted a kicker first. And it was the smart move because Ryan's kicker got him 7 points.
Thank you.
We want to send a shout out to Ethan Yost for hitting a 40-yard field goal in the game.
Banger.
A 40-yard bomb in the game, nails it. Also going 4 for 5 on his extra points. And I believe the only reason he missed the one was because it got blocked. Ethan Yost is money in the bank. I don't give a doggone what anybody says. Ethan Yost is money in the bank. I'm going to start calling him Ethan Vinatieri. Like, that dude's legit. Dude is legit. The mule.
Yeah, any high schooler that can bang out a 40-yarder like it's going out of style, yeah, he's legit. He's on his way where he needs to go.
I can kick a 40-yard field goal if you let me kick it twice.
Right. in a punt formation as well.
Yes. I can kick 2 20s. I give you change for a 40.
Yeah.
But Geneva going to take on. Here's an update for everybody paying attention. Geneva is not playing Collinwood this week. Geneva is going to hand over to Chestertucky, and they're going to be playing the West Geauga Wolverine. I can't even say the last name. I can't even say it. They're going to go play the team with the ugliest name and the ugliest helmet in Northeast Ohio. And you know what, Geneva? Let's go Eagles.
Yeah. Send it home. I'm not sure why, but Sammy's always disliked West G. I'm not mad at them.
Have you seen their helmet?
See, the problem is it doesn't bother me. It doesn't.
No.
It's not that big of a deal to me.
Listen,
Lakeside was rocking those helmets, 8 years ago?
Yep, and you know how many games they won in those helmets?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Listen, the Lord created the world in 6 days. Michigan was created on the 7th day. I don't know who's responsible.
Oh boy.
Just hating.
Oh boy.
Oh, let's walk ourselves in. What the next game was that? St. John and Rittman.
We got one more game. Let's get that.
No, we got 2 left. We got St. John and PV.
So St. John and Rittman. The St. John goes out there. They're losing their first game of the year. Another game stays close. Through most of the game. They put on 2 touchdowns at the end there. But the big story there, Devin Merciliak going to get himself a score in that game. Let me see what else we got in there. Jeff Watson throws for 106 yards. He goes 8 for 17 with one touchdown and 1 interception. Devin Merciliak. See, the problem with the one problem that St. John did carry over to this year rushing game, not really there yet. You know, Devin is 5 for 34. He's the top rushing man, but they do have 4 guys that are going to catch the ball for them. Tyler Cathcart responsible for 4 receptions for 53 yards. Jimmy Severino is a sophomore for them. He is responsible for 2 for 42. He's also responsible for a touchdown. Devin Merciliak on the defensive side, 14 solo tackles. 6 assists. The man is all over the field. I told you.
No wonder why I thought I drafted him.
Listen, Devin Merciliak is responsible for every tackle St. John has had in the last, I'm pretty sure, 26 years. I don't know how he's done it. The machine is everywhere. The Terminator, man. He's T-1000. He goes out there, gets it done on the defensive side. We are going to be covering the St. John Heralds this week on Saturday as they take on the Sebring McKinley is who they are going.
Springfield thing.
No, that's the
following
week.
They're going. I announced that like 4 times. Over the weekend.
But it's
and
Sebring.
You okayed
this
it.
Week is Sebring McKinley. Sebring McKinley is who they are taking on this week. We're going to be covering that live from the beautiful Spire. Can't wait to get back to the Spire. We love it out there. Really phenomenal people out there running that place. If you want to see a world-class facility right here in Ashtabula County, go see the Spire. There's all kinds of stuff to do out there. Get your kids involved. And last but certainly not least is PV against Mineral Ridge, and PV, guess what? 1-0, doing right what they did last year, baby.
Heck yeah,
starting off hot,
and the big story in that game, they're out there rushing and they're doing their thing, getting their Robert Verba is good for he's 12 rushes for 157 yards as at the quarterback position. He does pass the ball 4 times. He was 1 for 47, 1 for 4 for 47 yards. Boy, 1 for 47 be a tough day. But he does break off Mineral Ridge, a piece of that Laker rushing attack that Tyler Bean made very, very famous last year for PV. Looks like PV is picking up right where they left off. And that defense, although they do give up 7 points, and if you remember last year, I don't think they gave up a single touchdown until week 8 or 9.
Yeah, I think they broke.
It was week 8
in the playoff game.
And this year they start off by letting a touchdown pass happen. Mark Bunch, the quarterback for Mineral Ridge, throws a touchdown, and that's in the first quarter, and that's the only one they give up. Yeah. And they hold Bunch to 114 yards passing on less than 50% of his attempts. But the big story, Mineral Ridge has been a rushing team, and their running back's name is Nathan Rohrman, and he only had 23 yards on the ground the entire game. PV's stout defense picking right up where they left off, and held a predominant rushing team to 23 rushing yards for the entire game. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Listen, PV, I'm telling you, them boys are tough. There's something about them. Them country cats, man.
Big cats out there, man. I'm telling you, too.
I love getting down there, too, because you know what? Andover, we love it out there. It's phenomenal.
Mel Nowakowski. Sorry.
Yeah, Mel Nowakowski is amazing. She's an amazing athletic director, always takes care of us when we go down there. The whole community is great. We can't wait to get down there. I don't have it off the top of my head, but we are going to be down there for a home game this year. You know, they're getting right back to their old ways. Neil Croston, he reminds me of Chip Sorber, too, because no matter what you ask those guys, like those guys could have an all NFL team. And we're like, listen, what's the team looking like this year? It's going to be, I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough year this year. It's going to be it's always a tough year. And then 8-0 later.
Right.
8 wins later.
A few things out of my hat. No big deal. Had an ace up my sleeve. He came and did his thing.
These guys do a really good job with these kids and getting the most out of them. And, you know, we talk about culture and PV definitely has a culture out there. And the PV3, all three of those guys are, you know, graduated and off doing their own things, you know, really set a good standard for these guys to follow. And one of the things Robert Verba talks about in one of the articles down in Mineral Ridgeway is that he wanted to go out as a senior and kind of, you know, show that he, you know, do his own thing, you know, show that he is who he is, you know, not, you know, trying to separate himself from that senior pack last year. I think he does a good job. PV, we're really looking forward to seeing them play next week. Let me see. They're going to be playing the Cardinal Huskies next week at PV. That's going to be a home game. Middlefield Cardinal coming to PV, and a tall task for Middlefield. That is for sure. PV is not playing any games. They've got the bad Robert Verba at quarterback, and he is not slowing down anytime soon. Devin Ray doesn't have a crazy game on offense, but does his thing on defense.
I have faith in you, Devin.
Does his thing on defense and keeping it rolling. PV doing their thing. Just one final time. We'll go. These are the finals. Conneaut 41, Edgewood 6, Jefferson 48, Grand Valley 8, Brush 41, Lakeside 20, Geneva 37, Madison 20, Rittman 28, St. John 14, and PV 22, Mineral Ridge 7. Here's what's coming up this week. Madison at Lakeside. That's where you're going to get to see these big, beautiful faces right here, baby. Live from Lakeside Stadium. We're going to be there broadcasting.
Saybrook, Ohio.
Grand Valley is going to be traveling to Edgewood this week. Both of those teams 0-1 at this current time. Jefferson is going to invade Painesville, trying to take a win from the Harvey Red Raiders. Geneva on a last-minute switch, going to play West Geauga in Chestertucky. Cardinal going to go to PV, and they're going to be playing the 1-0 PV Lakers. Buckeye Medina, not PA, they are going to be playing at Conneaut this week, and Sebring McKinley is going to be playing St. John at home at the Spire on Saturday, and that is also going to be a 4-4-0 and goal live broadcast.
I like what
super excited.
Little logos. That's like really unique. I like that. I like that. And don't forget, folks, if you're out there watching on Friday night, or Saturday night, if you show your stream at a restaurant, bar, I guess a gym, I don't care where it's at, but if you take a picture of it, send it over to us, tag us on it, tag us in it on Facebook or Instagram. I would say YouTube, but you can't do that on YouTube. But we will be more than happy to provide you with one free night of game coverage or one free night of advertising during the game. So just remember that, any business owners out there, and we are looking for more commercial ad sponsors. If anyone would love to become a member of the 440 Goal family, become a sponsor, message us on Facebook or Instagram, or you can also email us at 440goal@gmail.com.
All right, and last but not least, the part that we're adding on to the show this year, it's fantasy football waivers.
Listen, I'm sorry, John Rice. I'm assuming you are in relation to Zack. Is that his dad, uncle?
I'm assuming.
Cousin. Listen, you missed the beginning of the show. I coach youth football for Lakeside. I'm not changing for the show. That's just what it is. I apologize. Thank you, though, for noticing. Go ahead, Sam.
We are going to go in order of last to first. So the first waiver pickups. So what we're going to do is we're going to limit it to 5 pickup and drops. It will go in order, so you can't get all 5 at once. You're going to get 1. Everybody gets a shot. It'll come back to you. So Ryan, you're going to get to go first this week because you scored a whopping 84 points.
Perfect.
Ryan, who's your drop? Who's your pickup this week?
I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I haven't had a lot of time to think about it, but I do like Mr. NASCAR out there in Jefferson. I've been thinking about that. He's not on anyone's roster, right?
No, he's not.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. But I think this week, to be honest with you, I don't like changing right off the rip. I'd like to kind of settle in a little bit. I know I didn't get a lot of points, but we have a lot of games coming up. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to move. I'm going to pass. I want to keep my team the way it is just for right now. I want to go through one more week, make some adjustments, and then move on. So I'm not picking up or dropping anybody off of my waiver right now.
All right. So Ryan is going to pass on his 5 waivers this week. So Ryan's team going in to, and the order can change. Ryan's team going into week 2, Zach Winchell's going to be his quarterback. Devin Ray is going to be his running back. Christian Curry going to be his wide receiver. Tyler Cathcart going to be his individual defensive player. Owen Shields of Conneaut going to be his flex. Brady, 43.5 point Pete, going to be your iron flex. Nate Boyarski's going to be on your bench. Wyatt Fuderick's on your bench. Your offensive line is going to be Lakeside. Your kicker is the man, the myth, the legend, Ethan Yost. All right, Tom, that puts you on the spotlight, my friend. You have 5 waivers. Which one is going to be your first?
I'm going to drop my kicker, Rockwell.
Okay, so Rockwell goes back into. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to pick up Ben Fike.
Yep, that's a damn good pick. That's a damn good kick. You see what I did there?
I did. I do.
All right, so we're going to add Fike. All right, so that's Tom's waiver 1. So that brings it to me. And I am going to, my drop this week is going to be Edgewood O-line. And I am going to add the Conneaut Spartans. That's going to be my offensive line going into this week. I can't overlook them. They kept their guy pretty clean and just allowed for 230 yards with 0 sacks. That would have been, therefore, they would have been worth 4 points. That offensive line would have been worth this week, 4 points. All right, Tom, you're going to get a second run at it.
All right. It pains me to do it, but I'm dropping AJ Rafa.
Hold on. Rafa. Okay. Go ahead.
And I'm going to pick up the beast from Jefferson, the running back himself. You know who he is.
That's a good pot. That's a good pick. Funtash.
Mr. Funtash. Fundash, I call him.
So Tom going to be the first person this year then to have what they would call handcuffed running backs, with Wade Woodworth so far at least, with Wade Woodworth and
Mr. Funtash.
Mr. Funtash. All right, my so my pickup this week, or my first drop or second drop this week is going to be Chase Carpenter. I'm going to drop him. Chase did a phenomenal job. I just have another player on my idea for Iron Flex this week. And my Iron Flex this week, Angelo Calazzo.
Okay.
So that's my 2. Do you have a third?
Let me think here. I have my sheets. You know what? I am going to, taking a look at it, I am going to drop Kiefer Mandagello.
Oof. Okay.
Actually, wait a minute. No, Robert Verba's already taken, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
So I'm going to keep Kiefer Mandagello.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm going to keep Kiefer Mandagello. So I'm going to forego any further selections.
All right. I am just going to do a quick run through. So Tom looks like he's stopping there. I am just going to do a quick look over of my team and see. Let me see. My kickers, Chamberlain. You know what? I'm going to drop Chris Chamberlain. And I am going to pick up Cody Rockwell.
Nice.
All right. I think that's it. So your new lineups going into this week. And obviously your lineup can change, but these are who are on whose team. Ryan, Zach, we already went through his. His is not going to change.
Nope.
Mine, the starting lineup as it stands right now, not going to change. Grant Hitchcock, Jay-Sean Sanders, Trent Hodge, Devin Rosilliot, Malachi Matlock. My Iron Flex is Zeke Lucas. My first bench player is going to be Angelo Calazzo. Second bench player is going to be Robert Verba. My offensive line this week is going to be the Conneaut Spartans offensive line. My kicker is Cody. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Nice.
Tom's.
So I want to change a little bit on the lineup.
Okay.
For you. I'm going to keep Mandagello, Rice, and Cunningham at their positions. I'm going to put Funtash as my flex. I'm going to move Isaiah to my Iron Flex.
Hold on just a second. Funtash at your flex. Isaiah Harris is your Iron Flex?
Yes.
Okay, Isaiah Harris as your Iron Flex, and then your offensive line still Geneva, and your kicker is Ben Fike.
And my IDP is still Wade Woodworth.
Ben Fike. All right. So the gauntlet has been set. You guys see it. That's what we've got this week. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For what's going on this week. This week we're going to be at Lakeside as they take on the Madison Blue Streaks. That's going to be our live coverage on Friday. On Saturday, we're going to be in the beautiful Spire in Geneva, Ohio, as St. John hosts the Sebring McKinley. I don't know what they are. Maybe the Bulldogs. Sounds right. That's what we're going to be doing this week. I'm Sammy from 440 Gold. Thanks, everybody.
I'm Ryan. I'm out.
See you guys soon.
Have a great night, guys. We'll see you later.
All right. That, I believe, is
hit the button.
Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4-0 and go. That other getting old. We got Sam Ryan time. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spend it with Sam Ryan time. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4-0 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4-0 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
The Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.